Today we are going to do a live stream highlighting the books we just got back from CBCS. I haven't really looked at them yet. I have unboxed them already to put them in an order, but also because I doubt that you guys want to see me fight through the amount of bubble wrap that CBCS puts around the comics. Yes, CBCS does a good job of packing them, sending them back to you. Um, for those of you who don't know, we are Frederick's original comic book store and gaming store, serving the Frederick area since 1984. We have been voted Frederick's best since 2013 in Frederick Magazine, 8 years in running, something we are quite proud of. We're hoping to continue that trend. So as we do this video, I'm also going to go over the grader's notes on each of the books, and we'll ask you guys and gals as we go through them whether you think we should perform some CPR on them. For those of you who don't know, what CPR stands for is crack, press, and resubmit. Some of these books came back a little bit lower than what we thought, so some of them are definitely good candidates for CPR. But let's get into it because I know you guys want to see what books we got in. As you can see, we added more shelves back behind us, back behind the register. We are getting more and more graded books in all the time. We still have, I think, like 100 books out for grading. We are also going to start using CGC in addition to CBCS. We'll see how that goes as well. So the first one was a bad submission on my part. It was Vision number 1. Came back as an 8.5. The grader notes on this one are tiny spine stress, some breaks color, and light bend, bottom spine, back cover, light crease, middle left edge, back cover, partially breaks color. So this one might be a decent one to crack, press, and resubmit. I'll probably just make it a pretty low price and sell that one. So if you're looking for a cheap Vision number 1, that one might be a decent selection for you. Next up, we have Power Girl number 1 from 2009 with an awesome Adam Hughes cover. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare on there. Adam Hughes always does phenomenal covers. An awesome artist. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with his work. And the grader notes on this one were few tiny indents, middle front cover through book. It came back as a 9.6. I think that's a pretty good grade, but again, we'll have to look at the values between a 9.6 and 9.8 and see whether it's worthwhile to get that one cracked, pressed, and resubmitted. And like I said, let me know what you guys think, whether it's one that you think we should resubmit or not. So the next one is a second printing. It is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 9. It also contains the first appearance of Lord Drakon and Cameo. And this one came back as a 9.8, so that one we were obviously quite happy with. There were no grader notes on that one because it came back as a 9.8. Next up is a hero that's definitely gained popularity over the last 15, 16 years. Brian Michael Bendis had a huge role to play in his resurgence. And that is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, his first appearance. It came back as a 6.5. The grader notes on this one say spine stress breaks color, edge creases front cover, breaks color, foxing to cover and interior, and it says 4 long crease bends, back cover, all sides, does not break color. So that one might be a decent one to get pressed also. I don't know how much it would add to the grade, maybe like half a grade to it, but you know, when you're talking about a key book like that, it definitely matters. So DC fans, I know sometimes, you know, they feel like they don't get enough love. A lot of the wall is covered with Marvel stuff. I've always been more of a DC guy. Right now the market seems to be favoring them. They have all these all the movies, all the TV shows that people talk about, Disney Plus. Um, Unfortunately, DC has a lot to catch up with right now. So the next book, though, is Tales of the Teen Titans, number 44. This is the first appearance of Nightwing. Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Also the first appearance of Jericho. Um, and also the origin of Deathstroke. So, like I said, some awesome pieces in this one. Very important DC book. Came back as an 8.5. The greater notes on this one say spine stress breaks color, light bend along right edge front cover, and tiny bend right corner front cover. Light sun shadow bottom edge back cover. So this one is I think a pretty good candidate to get cracked. Let me know what you guys think. I think if it gets pressed, we'll get in the 9s on that one. So the next one is a character that has been around for a while, but went through a change in the comic we're about to show. Jason Aaron changed Thor and had Jane Foster take the role. So this is the first printing. This is a 9.8 copy. So with everything going on, the movie supposedly, going to center around Jane Foster as Thor. That has the potential to go up even further in value. Again, since it's a 9.8, no greater notes on that one. Definitely a good book, though. Jason Aaron had an amazing run on that. Let's see. So the next one up is Spider-Man 2 number 1. The regular cover. Came back as a 9.8. This one features the first appearance of Evil Miles. So this one is actually going through a lot of heat right now. A lot of collectors are wanting this one right now. And the only thing that would be even better than that one would be, I'm sorry for the delays, guys. I just want to make sure I hit the greater notes for all these also. Spider-Man 2 number 1, the variant cover by Acuna. So this was a 9.8 also. As you can see, we have all of them still in their sleeves that CBCS sends them in. That's because they're so hot. The brainstorm peppers are becoming more and more plentiful. Like I said, our wall is full of very hot peppers, as we like to call them here. So the next one is an oldie but goodie. Everybody loves Amazing Spider-Man, especially anything from the first decade of the character. So what we have up here is Amazing Spider-Man 100. And this one came back as a 6.5. So this one had several greater notes. Deep bend through right side of the book. Spine stress does not break color. Sorry, I keep saying cover. Edge creases right front cover, barely breaks color, and foxing the cover and interior. So again, I think this one would be a pretty good candidate for a pressing. Obviously, I'm not going to do that until after I get some practice in. I'm not going to do any Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze Age, anything until I feel very comfortable with that. But like I said, let me know what your thoughts are, whether you think that some of these should get cracked, pressed, and resubmitted. So the next 3 are the same book. I more got these 3 graded because I wanted to do 3 sets of 2. And that book is All New Wolverine number 1. And this is the first appearance of Laura as Wolverine. and all 3 copies came back as 9.8. Just to show you there. That book's not really worth a whole lot. Like I said, my intention for that one was more to pair it with the next book. However, two of them came back lower than what I expected. One of them very, very much lower than what I expected. So two of them will no doubt be pressed and resubmitted. But one did come back as a 9.8. This is All New Wolverine number 2. This is the first appearance of the sisters. So this includes Gabby, Bologna, and Zelda. But like I said, we got 2 more copies of those sent out as well. I definitely keep watching. Like, even though these are very awesome, very hot covers, very hot books, we have some very, very. These are the less spicy of the peppers that came back. The spicy ones are still to come. So the next one that we sent in came back as a 7.5. This one I'm definitely going to get crack, press, and release or resubmitted. It says tiny crease, bottom edge, front cover, barely breaks color, and creases top left corner, back cover. So I think if this one gets pressed, it should come back much higher. But they gave it a 7.5 for those. I think that's a bit of a big drop for those defects. But obviously, you're playing a little bit of a gamble whenever you submit to any of the companies. I know CBCS has a reputation for being a little harsher on their grading. I don't know that yet, as I've only submitted ever a couple books to CGC. But we will find out here in the very near future, because we're getting ready to submit a lot of books to them as well. So the last one was All New Wolverine number 2. This one came back as a 9.6. The grader notes on this one were minor crease, middle, bottom edge, front cover. Again, I think if we get this one pressed, it'll come back as a 9.8. I don't think the 7.5 will come back as a 9.8. Just to be clear, I think that one will probably come back as like a 9.2, 9.4. I do think that one's a little harshly graded, but we will see. And I know some people, some of the people who submit regularly to CBCS or CGC, they ask me all the time, why don't you press every book? I don't know. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort. Also, at first we were paying to have it done ourselves, so we're gonna, like I said, try and cut out that cost. I'd rather not press every single book, but we will see where we go from here. So the next book is Deadpool number 1, the miniseries from 1994, and it came back as a 9.2. All the Deadpool fans out there, awesome cover. My friend makes fun of the swords on there because of how thin they are. I don't know if you can see it in the picture, but let's see. So the grader notes on this one are tiny crease, bottom right corner, front cover, breaks color, and tiny crease, bottom left corner, back cover, breaks color, minor crease, top left corner, back cover, breaks color. And this is a good example of why I think that the Wolverine one was a little bit harshly graded, like this, or this one was lightly graded. One of the two ways. I feel like the notes on this one were as bad, maybe a little bit not as bad as the Wolverine one. But so the next one is a super hot book right now, particularly the variant cover. another Brian Michael Bendis one, and that is Invincible Iron Man #9. So this features the first full appearance of Riri Williams. Um, and obviously, like I said, the variant cover is more hot than this one right now. So this one came back as a 9-4. So from reading the greater note, the greater note is light bend, right edge, front cover. So it doesn't mention a color break. So this is another good candidate to get pressed. I think it has a good potential to come back as a 9-8. A 9-8 obviously is a lot more valuable than a 9-4, which is what this came back as. Like I said, I think this one was a little harshly graded also. I think it should have probably gotten a 9-6. If it came back as a 9-6, I don't know whether I would crack, press, and resubmit it, but as a 9-4, I think I'm definitely going to do so. So, is there anybody hotter in comic books today than Donny Cates? I think the resounding answer on that one is no. Everything that guy touches turns to gold. He is pretty much like Midas at this point. You can't go wrong with anything that he writes. So we have God Country, the Zafino variant. Came back as a 9-8. Obviously, we're very happy with that one. Lots of rumors about different things that Cates is working on being optioned. And then we also have the regular cover. And both of those didn't have any greater notices. They both came back as 9-8s. So next up is a character. I know we talked about how Bendis has resurrected a couple of characters or created a couple hot characters. This is one that I feel like he's damaged immensely, unfortunately. I know a lot of DC fans feel that way. So this is the first appearance of Jonathan Kent when he was being born. Got a 9-6. This is Convergent Superman #2. The greater notes are spine wear and stress breaks color. So obviously when it breaks color, there's not much you can do in order to remedy that. So I think this one is probably going to stay as a 9-6. I don't think we're going to crack, press, and resubmit this one. But like I said, we're looking forward to hearing from you guys also whether you think which ones we should crack, press, and resubmit. Like I said, I feel like Bendis has damaged the Jonathan Kent character a little bit. I feel like he was growing in popularity. That people were really digging Super Sons. If you didn't read Super Sons, go back and read it. Really great read. And I'm not a Bendis basher. I've liked Bendis for a long time, since probably when he began Powers. So the next one, Birds of Prey #8. If you are a DC fan, you know the significance of this book. If you're not a DC fan, you're probably like, why has he got Birds of Prey #8? No, it's not a first appearance. No, it's not the beginning of some hot arc. No, it's not the beginning of a storyline that's heating up, or some movie that's being optioned. This is the beginning of the Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson romance. This is where it all begins. If you're a fan of either one of those characters, you know that this book is a key book. It's a 9-8, so definitely we were happy with that one. Again, I know some of the DC fans feel a little slighted with the books that we have up on the wall, since they mostly focus on Marvel. Trust me, I'm digging out more and more books all the time. Definitely finding some awesome DC peppers in addition to independent peppers. Some hot books to add to the wall. So the next two are a very good pair to go together. We all know that Venom is coming. Venom 2 is coming out hopefully soon. We'll see. with all the stuff going on with coronavirus, everything's always up in the air. Um, Regardless, so we all know that Venom number 2 is going to feature Carnage. But if you're a fan of Carnage, you also know that you need the early appearances of Cletus Cassidy. So we have Amazing Spider-Man 344. This one came back as a 9-4. So this one says spine stress, breaks color, and few indents, middle front cover. So if we can get those indents out, it might come back as a 9-6. I don't think it'll come back as a 9-8, just because of the breaking color with the spine stress. But it looks like there's only one, so I mean, it's possible. It's also the first full appearance of Elias Wortham as Cardiac. Obviously, first appearances, good books to invest in. So first, Cletus Cassidy. And I said that we had a book to pair it with. And that would be Spider-Man 345. This is the second appearance of Cletus Cassidy. And both of these are newsstand editions. I don't know how many of you know, but newsstand editions are becoming very collectible. There's a strain of collector out there that only wants the newsstands, willing to pay a premium for the newsstands. The greater note on this one is that the spine stress breaks color. So we'll see. I think I'll keep this one at the 9-6 level, just because I don't think we'll be able to get it up to 9-8. But we'll take a look at it. Cletus Cassidy, Carnage becoming more and more popular. People looking forward to seeing what they do with him on the big screen. So, we are now hitting the stack of the super spicy peppers that we got back. So, Sandman is getting ready to hit Netflix, and so we sent off our Sandman books. We got a Sandman number 1. This one came back as a 9-4. It's a small amount of surface wear and fingerprints near spine, front cover, breaks color. These characters are going to become even more popular as the series hits. If you're a longtime comic fan, you know that that Neil Gaiman is a writer that people have followed for quite some time. Looking forward to seeing what they do with it. So next up, if you have Sandman number 1, you have to have Sandman number 4. Sandman number 4 is the first appearance of Lucifer Morningstar in the Sandman series. This one came back as a 9-4 as well. So the greater notes on this were spine wear and stress breaks color, light fingerprint, middle front cover. So very similar to the other one. And like I said, this is a 9-4 featuring her first appearance. Key first appearance for that series. The next one is one that I was disappointed in, so I'll read the greater notes along with you on this one, and hopefully it's one that we can press. So this is Sandman number 8. It came back as an 8-5. The notes are spine wear and stress breaks color, few indents front and back cover, light crease top back cover breaks color, and minor tear near back middle cover. So I'll take a closer look at that one later. I think it was probably a little harshly graded. I don't see the tear on the back cover. I'll have to take a closer look at it later. and see whether I can spot what they're seeing. So next up is another hot book for the Sandman series. This is Sandman number 10. Came back as a 9-0. The greater notes are spine stress breaks color, middle or fingerprints, left back cover breaks color. This was a collection we had bought, so I assume that the fingerprints came from when they were being read. So the next one is one that we already have gotten in before, but it's a very hot character. People are buying up the first appearances. And that is Hulk number 1. Came back as a 9-8. Like I said, Red Hulk, there's a lot of speculation around the character right now. Great cover, great series. Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness did some great stuff on that. So the next two books are another ones that would pair very well. They are hot because of the covers. Once you see them, you'll know. So the first one is Amazing Spider-Man 606, awesome J. Scott Campbell cover, and this came back as a 9-6. The greater notes say spine stress breaks color, light surface wear near spine front and back cover, and tiny indent near middle back cover. So I think if we get those pressed out, it may come back as a 9-8, which would be good because I'd love to pair it with this one, which is Amazing Spider-Man 607, which came back as a 9.8. So I think those two paired together as 9/8 would be very awesome. As you can see, J. Scott Campbell, large fan following. People love his stuff. So the next two are 9/8s as well. Fans of Underworld Blood Wars, we got the regular cover and the variant cover. Both have Kate Beckinsale photo covers. Both came back as 9/8s. We know that series is very popular. So we sent those off to get graded. So we mentioned Donny Cates earlier. Donny Cates is doing some great stuff. People are very interested in everything he's doing with Null, everything he's doing with Cosmic Ghost Rider, everything he's doing with Venom, everything he's doing with Virus. The guy is pretty unstoppable right now. But we sent off some of the Silver Surfer Black books. So we have Silver Surfer Black number 1. This is the second printing. It came back as a 9/6. The greater notes on this one are spine wear and stress breaks color, light surface wear back cover. Came back as a 9/6, like I said. The next one got the dreaded check mark. I hate the CBCS check mark. So for those of you who are unaware of what that is, the CBCS check mark lets you know that a book looks better than what it graded as. And I absolutely hate the check mark. Every time one of my books gets one of those, I want to go crazy. And reading the greater notes on this one also makes me very sad. So this one is Silver Surfer Black number 2. It came back as a 9/0, like I said, with a check mark. The greater notes say small creases near spine on interior front cover. So it doesn't say anything about breaking color. So I'll probably press this one, resubmit it, and hopefully get a 9/6 or a 9/8. Like I said, I feel like that one's probably a little harshly graded, but you take your chances when you submit your books. So the next one is a very hot cover as well. Um, for those of you who are following the Silver Surfer Black series or anything that um, that Donny Cates does, this is Silver Surfer Black #4, the 1 in 25 variant. This came back as a 9.8. Obviously, we're very happy with that. Again, all things null are very, very popular. So the next one up is Silver Surfer Black #5, the second printing. This came back as a 9.8 as well. I'm sorry if there's a glare. I'm trying to fix it. But no greater notes since it was a 9.8. And lastly, we got a Silver Surfer Black #5, the Ron Lim variant featuring null as well. So, DC fans, as I mentioned, some of you, wish that we had more DC books up on the wall. As you saw, we had a couple that we've already highlighted in this video. But we're about to go next level in this one as well. So we have Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, #70. Came back as a 3.0. The greater notes stated the following: centerfold detached, 10-inch subscription crease through book breaks color, mini indents center front cover, spine stress breaks color, small piece of paper stuck right top front cover with 2/3 inch paper pull. So for those of you who are not aware, this is the first Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. So definitely significant, especially among DC fans. Should be significant among all comic book fans, but DC fans, I know especially, like that book a lot. So when you're talking about books like that, you definitely want to pair them with the books that go with them. So that's what we did. We have Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, #71. This is a 3.5 copy. Says general cover wear, bends, soiling and creases, spine, edge, wear, and stress breaks color. Light tanning interior cover edges. So, like I said, those two pair very well together. I think any DC fan would be happy to have those in their collection. So next up is a character that's gotten pretty popular over the last couple months. She has her own TV show. It's from Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns created the character, and that is JSA All Stars #4. So this one came back as a 9.8. That book is very hot right now. That one, along with Stars and Stripes 0 #1. Speaking of which, we have those graded as well. So the last one was a 9.8, so there were no grader notes on it. Stars and Stripes 0 came back as a 9.6. Very nice copy. The grader notes say light bends top back cover, and it doesn't say anything about breaking color. So this is another good candidate for cracking, pressing, resubmitting, just because that one is such a key book for DC people, DC fans right now. But like I said, let us know what you think, whether you think we should resubmit some of these. I know some people test the CBCS CGC grading by sending them to one, cracking, resubmitting to the other. Um, I don't think I'll be necessarily doing that. We'll see. Um, I don't want to definitively say one way or the other. And then we have Stars and Stripes number one, or Stars and Stripes number one. And the grader note, or sorry, this came back as a 9.4. And the grader notes on this one say light bends top back cover and a few indents middle back cover. So again, I think this is a good candidate for the CPR, as they say. So we have 4 more books to go through, and I think you guys are going to love all 4 of them. Like I said, we are well into the super spicy brainstorm peppers at this point. The next book, everybody's anxiously awaiting for the return of, has been hot for several years at this point, by one of my favorite writers, Brian K. Vaughan. Fiona Staples doing some awesome art on it. I'm not gonna lie, this is one I haven't read yet. I know I'm way behind. I'm way behind on lots of things. But that is Saga number 1. Came back as a 9.8. We are very, very happy with that, obviously. Not much to say about that book. That book it's cooled off a little bit because it's at least last time I checked, it may have gotten hot again. But I know it cooled off just because it hasn't been coming out. Saga fans are super dedicated to that book. If you're a Saga fan and have not read Brian K. Vaughan's other things, highly recommend Why the Last Man. Can't recommend Ex Machina enough. Pride of Baghdad, my all-time favorite Brian K. Vaughan story. It revolves around animals, but it is not a Disney book. It is very, very sad, very poignant. Just a great book altogether. So earlier on, we covered a Brian Michael Bendis creation, and we said that it was a great book to have, but the variant cover is even hotter, and we have the variant cover for that one as well. So this is Invincible Iron Man number 9. This came back as a 9.6. The grader notes say spine stress breaks color, light surface wear front cover. I'm going to take a close look at this one. If we can get it up to a 9.8, I will definitely press and resubmit this one. The prices on this one are going insane for this cover. People have a lot of hope in that character, seeing her on the Disney Plus. So our last 2. The next one up is getting very, 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 very popular again. She had gone through a little bit of a downtime. Anything related to Spider-Verse as definitely seeing some leaps and bounds in prices. So we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is a 9.8. This is the first appearance of Silk. Definitely a great book to have. If you're a Spider-Man fan, this is a great book. But like I said, the next generation of comic collectors, they're gonna identify, I think, more with Silk, Spider-Gwen, Riri, Miles, all of those characters. So DC fans, we end with a DC book. Like I said, I know that our DC selection up on the wall is a little light compared to the Marvel ones. I think that this batch of books that came back from CBCS kind of helps with that a little bit. But this is one of the hotter books of the last decade. Again, a cover that stands out. It is by Jock, and that is Detective 880. And as you can see, this one came back as a 9.8 also. We had amazing luck, I think, with this round of books. Like I said, you heard a couple times where I think that they were a little harsh on the grading. Not much I can do about that outside of, like I said, contemplate the CPR solution. Um, but as I said, we still have many more books out for grading. Um, you will see our graded selection grow and grow. We're adding more shelves into the store for specifically that purpose. As you can see behind me, we have a great selection of key books here behind the counter. We have more out on the floor than we used to. Um, like I said, right now I think we have about 250 graded books in the store. Within the next month, we'll probably have over or close to 400. Well, thank you for watching, though. Let us know which books you think we should perform CPR on, and have a good day.